Hello, everybody. I am Dapie45,
And I am Emily.
and welcome to Talking Down Mainstreet with Emily and Dapie45. So, Emily, would you like to tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I'll go ahead and do that. My name is Emily, and I am 20 currently. I will be turning 21 pretty soon. But I am currently a nursing major, and Disney has been a big part of my life for a very long time. And I'm so excited that now we will have a platform to talk more about it and to talk about our interests and just to get to have an open space for an open communication and open conversations. What about you? Tell us a little bit about you, Dappy.
So, my screen name is Dapie45, but of course, my real name is Anthony. So, if you hear her call me Anthony, that's my real name. But I am probably not as much like obsessed with Disney as my partner here, but I do enjoy it. I grew up around Disney a lot, and it has been a big part of my life. And I do enjoy going to the parks, watching the movies, and all the stuff that they own. And also, something you guys may or may not know is that both of us are cousins.
Yes, we are. We are a family.
So yeah, and we both grew up under Disney, and we are very knowledgeable about Disney. Emily more so than I am, but we both have a pretty good knowledge of Disney stuff. So I guess let's start off, with our favorite Disney stuff, because of course on this podcast we'll talk about Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, anything they own, parks, movies, anything. So we'd like to start off telling like your favorite movie from each of the respected Disney properties.
Sure. So my favorite Disney movie is Sleeping Beauty. And then for Pixar, I would have to say The Incredibles. It's timeless. It's so good. And then for Star Wars, I would have to say Episode 3. And then for Marvel is kind of hard for me because there's so many good ones. But if I had to choose just one, it would probably be Spider-Man Far From Home.
All right, and then for me, my favorite Disney movie would be Pinocchio. I'd probably say for Pixar, I'd say it'd be what was it? Up. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name, but Up was a good one. And then Star Wars, that one would be The Empire Strikes Back. And then for Marvel, I'll probably say Endgame. That was a pretty big one. It helped made all those movies I watched put to good use. So.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Fun fact, I have watched Endgame a total of almost 12 times, and I cry every single time.
I watched Endgame probably 2 or 3 times, and I have cried none of the times.
But he still continues to try to make me watch it because he wants to see me cry. So I'm assuming that one of these days that's what's going to happen. And my number 12 is going to go up to 13. And lo and behold, I will cry. I can cry just thinking about it.
I watched Infinity War with her, and she cried, and I made fun of her.
I mean, how do you not cry? How do you not cry? It is such a sad scenario. For those of you who have not watched it, I won't spoil it, but I mean, it has been out for years, so you should have watched it. If you have not, go watch it, but it's sad. So, highly recommend, but be prepared to cry if you're emotional like I am.
And also, we both live in California, so that means the Disney park closest to us is the Anaheim location. So we'll talk about California Adventure and Disneyland more so on this podcast when referring to the parks as well. And of course, if there's anything big going on with any of the foreign parks, I'm sure we'll bring it up also. But for the most part, it'll be California.
Yeah. With that being said, is there a park that you would like to go to before, I don't know, you're not able to or anything like that?
Well, like, I want to go to pretty much all of them, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess if I had to choose one, like probably the hardest one would probably be Tokyo,
Okay.
because that one seems like, because that one has more. It's not just the standard Disney stuff that you'll expect to see, because since they have partnered with a different company,
Yeah.
it has other stuff in it that stands out as opposed to other Disney parks. So I'd probably say the Tokyo one. What about you?
I would say Paris, Disney Paris, just because they just came out with the Marvel Hotel, and I would love to stay in the Marvel Hotel. This is going to be a pretty hard question for you, but let the audience know, do you have more of a passion for Marvel or for Star Wars? Because I know that with a lot of people, it's hard to almost pick between the two, but do you have a personal favorite?
Um, that one's kind of hard, because I like them both probably equally. But if I had to choose, I'd probably say Marvel.
Okay. Would you say it's because you're more knowledgeable about Marvel?
Yeah, that one, and also it's more of an expanded universe. I feel like what's going on with Star Wars is that it's getting little milked, probably a little too much
I agree.
with what they're doing. And with Marvel, it was all based off multiple stories of multiple people,
Mm-hmm.
as in time in the future going on, while Star Wars focused on one series of movies and kind of expanded on that, which kind of feel like it's stretching it out a little too much. So I'd probably say it's Marvel, because there's more story built and characters that were thought of for a whole universe, as opposed to expanding on these original three movies.
I agree with that. I totally see your point. I would say that I probably enjoy Marvel a little bit more than Star Wars, but I do still have a very deep love for Star Wars. Actually, when we are recording this podcast, we are 2 days away from the opening of Avengers Campus here in California at California Adventure. And I am lucky enough that I will be experiencing it on opening day. So keep your hopes up, because there's probably going to be an entire episode dedicated just to Avengers Campus and to seeing what they had, what I liked and disliked about it. And one thing that I love about Disney parks is that whenever they remake a new area or a new ride, that they try to hold pieces from what was there before it. So I'm definitely going to be looking for old pieces of Bugs Land in Avengers Campus, and I'm excited to see if they have kept that tradition up.
Yeah, I feel like that would be cool, and we'll talk about it more. So I'm sure our next episode will talk about your preparation for it and stuff. This is our introduction, but next episode will be more about your preparation about Avengers Campus more. And yeah, it seems like it'll be cool. I'll have the opportunity to check out Avengers Campus for myself in September, because I have to wait a little bit longer. But it'll be cool. It'll still be fun. I don't mind waiting. Yeah, but I am excited for it. It is a fairly small land, and the Avengers ride that they're building won't be open yet, but it'll still be
Correct.
cool. The Spider-Man ride will be open, though, which I'm excited for.
Yes. So I know, but the audience doesn't know, that Spider-Man used to be one of your favorite characters. Is it still? And I think that we should talk about our favorite characters from each piece of Disney.
Yeah, I would probably say Spider-Man is probably my favorite superhero. It has changed. It was originally my first one was Spider-Man, and it had changed, and now it just went to a full circle. And I would say it's probably back to Spider-Man now. Which I think is cool, because he was younger, so I could relate to him more, and very agile, and his powers were unique compared to those of like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. They all seem very general. While Spider-Man is very uniquely his. And then of course with Marvel tend to have more unique powers. I guess a lot of them were also similar to DC, but that's a whole different topic for a different podcast. But yeah.
Yeah. What about Star Wars? Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
So I really like Luke Skywalker. He's a classic. I love his character. but also like the Mandalorian from the Mandalorian. I forget his name. It's like Dinjin something.
Yeah.
But it's like the main guy from Mandalorian. He's pretty cool. I like him. And then for Disney character, like just like Disney animation character, like I said, my favorite movie was Pinocchio. But if I had to pick a character, I'd probably say Panchito from the Three Caballeros. I love all three of them. But then if I had to pick one of those three, it'd be Panchito because I just like him. And then from Pixar, I feel like that one's a little harder to do. Maybe Sully.
Okay.
I really like Sully from Monsters Inc. and University. But again, like a lot of those characters are timeless, and I really like so.
Yeah, I feel like Pixar in itself is very timeless because we grew up around the time when all the Pixar movies are coming out. So I know like my very first movie watching in the movie theater was Finding Nemo. And I think that with us really growing up with Pixar, it definitely makes it a big part of our lives, and almost like we keep saying that it is very timeless in a sense. But my favorite characters, if I had to choose one, I would say for Disney, it would probably be Ariel, which I know, like Anthony said, my favorite movie is a different movie. It's Sleeping Beauty. But I just love Ariel. I love how carefree she is. She's someone who you can see the innocence in her in a way, that it's just that everybody needs that one moment to be as innocent as possible. And then for Star Wars, I would have to say Ahsoka Tano. I loved watching Clone Wars. I just recently watched it within 2020, and I definitely really enjoyed it. And her character storyline is one that I would love to know more about. And I am so glad that they did include her a little bit into The Mandalorian. And I hope that we see more of her, honestly. And
she's getting her own series, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm definitely very excited for that. And then for Marvel, it would be Wanda Maximoff or Scarlet Witch. I don't know. Her storyline is a storyline that I really enjoy. With WandaVision just coming out, I feel like we got to learn a lot about her, but not only her life, but just how she is as a person, which was interesting. And it's something that we had never seen Marvel really dive that deep into. So it was cool to see them do that with Wanda. And I think that definitely changed my mind on who my favorite character is, because it used to be Spider-Man as well.
And then, so you said everyone. Wait, did you say Pixar?
Oh, okay. So for Pixar, that's a hard one. Wow. I would have to say, which I know she isn't really like a main character, but I love Boo. I love Boo as a character. People are saying that she might pop up in the new show that they're doing for Monsters Inc. So I'm really excited to see that, if those rumors are true.
Yeah.
Because I would love to know where her story went.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure if there'll be. I don't know what much of a story you can say because it was all. I don't know. I like how they ended the Monsters Inc. So it doesn't surprise me because since at the end of Monsters Inc. he visits her again, so maybe it'll be interesting. I'm excited about that too. Disney Plus series.
We are definitely fans of Disney Plus, and we are so excited that all of our favorites are on one platform, because I know that before Disney Plus is around, I used to have to jump from platform to platform.
Most of our favorites are there are some that are not on there, like the Spider-Man ones, and I know that Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 and 3 are not on there.
I didn't realize that was one of your favorites.
It's not one of my favorites, but it's a Disney movie that's not on there. So I'm like, they're not on everything, but most things, I should say, are on there.
Yes, that's true. I want them to put Sophia the First on Disney Plus. Right now it's on Netflix.
Crazy.
But it is.
I'm sure they'll put it on eventually.
I'm hopeful. I really liked it.
I've never seen that. There's no theme song from TikTok.
Which it's iconic. That's why it went viral on TikTok. But I didn't watch it. It wasn't on when we were kids, but I watched it probably about 2 years ago because I broke my foot, and that's what I used to watch in order to help me fall asleep. Yeah. But, you know, we have talked a lot about our favorites, and one thing that whenever I talk to someone new and we start talking about Disney, one or two things that always pops up is their favorite ride and their favorite meal at Disneyland. Do you have a favorite meal and a favorite ride?
So, for those of you who don't know, I do have a YouTube channel, and I did make a video with my friend where we talked about our top 5 favorite rides.
Ooh.
And if you want to know all like my other 4, you could check that out, as well as my friend's top 4 rides at Disneyland. So what I did for that video is my number 1 was Big Thunder Mountain.
That's a good one.
And I'd probably say, I think that's still the same now. Cause like when I haven't ridden Rise of the Resistance, and when it comes to other rides, like I don't really like rides with drops. I don't like that feeling in my stomach. So like the Incredicoaster Coaster I haven't been on, or Guardians of the Galaxy. So like, and Big Thunder Mountain doesn't have drops, just goes really fast, and I do enjoy that one. So I say that one. But if you want to hear my other 4, check out Dapie45 on YouTube, and I list my top 5 Disney rides there. And then for my meal, I do have my favorite snack. I would probably say would be the churro. I don't know if there's like a meal that I go to, but I know for sure the churro is one thing that I do eat. I tend to go towards every time, or almost every time.
Nice. I would say that my favorite ride is probably Radiator Springs Racers in California Adventure. It's so much fun, and you haven't ridden it, have you?
I have.
You have?
Yeah, I think 3 times.
Really?
Or something, yeah.
I could have sworn that you didn't, because it does have not really a drop, but slight.
I've ridden it. That portion is a little iffy for me, but
okay.
I can ride it. It's fine.
Okay. And then one of my favorite meals is actually still in California Adventure, and it's at the Pacific Wharf it's the pesto turkey sandwich. It's so good. It's a little messy, but it's so good. But if I had to pick like a little snack, my favorite Disney snack would probably be caramel apples.
And also something I want to add to my favorite snack is churros, and that's true. But when it comes to the holiday times, like Christmas, I do tend to get the gingerbread men.
Oh, their gingerbread men are so
good. Or the gingerbread
good.
Mickeys, I guess. But I do enjoy those too during the holidays.
Those are incredible. There's nowhere else that I've had a gingerbread man cookie that I enjoy. I usually don't like them, but Disney's, I'll sign up for anything Disney.
I think I like gingerbread in general too, but I just like getting it there as well because it's good. I like it.
Yeah. I feel like part of the experience of going to Disney is looking down, like as you're walking down Main Street, looking into all the windows and seeing the bakers and the chocolatiers doing their thing. And it definitely, I make sure to every single time I go to stop there, just because I feel like once they see me, well, not just me, they see everybody enjoying the park, watching them, it's almost like a little pick-me-up to them, because they're like, oh my God, like they're interested in what I'm doing, not just interested in eating it. But if you ever have time and you ever don't know really what to do while you're in the parks, I highly recommend just going in and watching at the bakery, and the even Pooh's Corner has a really nice giant window that you can watch them make stuff, and it's so interesting and it's so entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. That's a pretty unique part of the parks. But yeah, so as we don't want to get too far off on this episode, but we just want to let you know we'll be talking about almost anything and all things Disney. And if you guys have any suggestions on things you want us to talk about, we do have Instagram, which is Talking Down Mainstreet on Instagram, all one word, and you can find it. And you can always DM us on there, say, hey, why don't you talk about this? And then, of course, we'll talk about different movies, rides, different properties, different things as time goes on. But yeah, so is there anything else you can think of about us that you'd want to let the audience know before we end this episode? Of course, this is a short one since it's just an introduction.
This is a little bit. Nope. Actually, nope. I have nothing. Like we said, we definitely are big fans of just everything that Disney has to offer. And maybe one little last thing about us is that we're really excited to do this, and we are so happy that we are taking the time to do this with not just like as a whole, but also with each other, because I feel like we are pretty close as cousins, but I do feel like that this will bring us closer. Also on our podcast, we will be having guests sometimes. So look out for that. It'll probably be more friends and family. But I think that it's going to be a really fun time. And if you enjoy just listening to Disney conversations and learning a little bit more about the parks and little secrets and tidbits here and there, I think that you are really going to enjoy this podcast. And we hope you come back and listen again.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, come with us as we grow as a podcast. Who knows, we may have Bob Chapek on the podcast in the future, or some big Disney person in like Imagineering or something. So
that would be incredible.
It would be, or the president of Disneyland. What's his name again?
I have no idea. I'm not good with the names.
I forget. I think it starts with a J or something. But I knew his name at one point. It's slipping me right now. But yeah, but of course, come with us on this magical journey towards podcasting.
As you can tell, this is our first time.
It is.
And
I'm tired too.
Yes.
I was driving around a lot today, so
yes.
I might be a little lower energy than normal. I don't have that much energy in general, but
yeah, no, you don't.
Maybe it's a little less than normal, I'd say, even today. But
yes.
I don't know. So yeah. Is there any other things you would like to put out there before we finish this off?
No, like Anthony was saying, we are so open to your guys' DMs. It's, to say it again, our Instagram is Talking Down Mainstreet, which is the name of this podcast. And we are so excited to make some more.
All right. And with that said, thank you all for listening. And we hope you all join in for the next episode, where we will be talking about Avengers Campus opening up and just our like little expectations and our preparations for that. And yeah, and then after that will be more so Emily's experience at Avengers Campus. But that'll be later. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time, or you'll hear us next time, I guess.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.